no data breach, no ransomware note, no SEC Item 1.05. And yet an automated filings radar queued a story called Latest Conservative Cause C as a corporate cyber filing. The headline sounded like a scandal. The pipeline treated it like a breach. This is what happens when keyword software mistakes a political essay for a cyber attack. Start with the document that triggered the queue. On August 20th, 2026, Slate published an essay by legal scholar Mary Ziegler. The headline, "The latest conservative cause celebra is an absolute nightmare." It is political analysis about surrogacy and abortion politics in Texas. Not a regulator cyber penalty, not an 8K, not a breach disclosure. Here is how it entered the filings lane. Corporate breach runs an unattended regulator query over news API's 7-day window. The query demands cyber terms and regulator terms together. Data breach, ransomware, cyber attack, paired with FTC, DOJ, HHS/OCR, Attorney General, penalty notice, or indictment. Slate's piece names Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. That single phrase satisfied the regulator half. Think of entity extraction like reading only the first 3 words on a folder tab. The pipeline's guess entity function grabs leading capitalized words until a stop word breaks the chain. From this headline, it produced latest conservative cause C, truncated at Celebra. Not McKenna West. Not Ken Paxton. Not Alliance Defending Freedom. A junk string from Grammar, not a company. Here's the first turn. Review the full Slate text. No data breach. No ransomware. No cyber attack. No hack. No SEC cybersecurity disclosure. No Item 1.05. The queue picked up a family law story because an attorney general walked through the keyword net. So what is the article actually about? McKenna West, an Alaska surrogate, carried a child for California intended parents Noshin Gilker and Omar Ahmed. Around 20 weeks, the fetus was diagnosed with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, a severe congenital heart defect. What followed was not a network intrusion. It was a medical and legal fight over pregnancy decisions, interstate contracts, and who gets to speak for a sick child. The facts are disputed in public reporting. West says the intended parents pressured termination after the diagnosis. Gilker and Ahmed deny forcing an abortion and say they sought appropriate medical care. NBC News, the Texas Tribune, and Kara all described the same fracture. 2 families, 1 pregnancy, and a diagnosis that leaves almost no easy choices. That is when politics entered. West connected with Live Action, an anti-abortion organization. Alliance Defending Freedom took her case. Conservative media framed the fight as a cause celebra, the very phrase buried inside the Slate headline "Our software mangled." Still no corporate victim. Still no stolen records. Still no outage. Ken Paxton moved fast. Texas's Attorney General secured emergency orders for life-saving care and to keep the child in Texas. He sent a letter to Dallas hospitals. ABC News, NBC DFW, and Kara reported the intervention as state power stepping into a private medical dispute. For our filings radar, Paxton's title was the hook. For viewers expecting a breach, it was a decoy. In August 2026, press reported the baby was born at a Dallas hospital, Children's Medical Center, and tertiary care coverage named in reporting. West calls the child Gabriel. The biological parents named the child Rumi. The infant underwent open-heart surgery after birth. Kara and NBC News describe ongoing care a heart defect like this demands human stakes, not database records. On August 19, 2026, Paxton filed a notice of nonsuit. Kara and the Texas Tribune report he said the goal of securing treatment had been met. The emergency legal push paused. The family fight did not. Biological parents retained custody. A separate temporary restraining order barred West from medical decisions, possession, or removing the child from the hospital. Reporting placed a further hearing on August 25, 2026. California courts had already recognized Gilker and Ahmed as legal parents. per ABC News and court documents cited in coverage. Interstate parentage sat underneath the Texas emergency orders. Another reason a headline first entity guess fails. Law is jurisdictional. Breach radar is supposed to be technical. Second turn. Parents' counsel accused Paxton and West of turning a family medical tragedy into political theater. NBC DFW quoted attorney Lee Budner. West denied political motives in coverage tied to a New York Post op-ed. Ziegler's Slate essay frames a deeper irony. A fight over one woman's right to continue pregnancy being weaponized for laws that reduce pregnant patients' autonomy. Ziegler places the case inside a wider conservative push on surrogacy and in vitro fertilization. She cites lawmakers using other surrogacy horror stories. A Chinese billionaire with more than 100 surrogate children reported by the Wall Street Journal in December 2025. A Florida investigation into 21 children to advance restrictions and birth tourism bills. Policy journalism, not a corporate cyber filing. This channel has seen misfires before and recovered when a real cyber threat existed. Investor cyber filing pivoted to a United Health shareholder lawsuit with breach witnesses. Exposed cyber filing pivoted to a United Kingdom CRM breach. This pick has no pivot, no verified corporate victim, no ransom, no regulator cyber penalty. Only a headline that looked like news and a query that looked like diligence. Lay the misfire out in order. A regulator filings query scans news API for cyber plus regulator language. Slate's essay mentions an attorney general but contains zero breach terms. Entity extraction grabs the first junk proper nouns from the headline. The cluster survives as latest conservative cause C. The Q marks at filings pillar, autopic filings regulator 7-day, and a cyber channel almost opened the wrong file. Open questions sit in the pipeline, not the courtroom. Why did News API return this URL when the body lacks cyber keywords? Did token matching on Attorney General bypass a strict and filter? Should junk entity checks block headlines starting with latest or conservative cause? Corporate breach documents the gap. We do not pretend it was a breach to fill a slot. Research already points to fixes. Post-filter regulator lane hits unless title or description contains breach, ransomware, cyber attack, data breach, hack, item 1.05 or 8K. Expand junk entity patterns for latest and conservative cause fragments. Reject guess entity outputs that start with latest, breaking, how, or why when no corporate suffix follows. Small gates, large savings. Third turn. Q item 86 CCBBF, created August 21, 2026, now carries status skipped and error not cyber misfire. That is the correct outcome. Shipping this as a breach episode would invent a villain arc we cannot verify. The only honest investigation here is how the radar failed. Read the absence table once. Corporate cyber victim, none identified. Breach scale, ransom, outage, none. SEC cyber disclosure, none. Regulator cyber penalty, none. Paxton's role is state civil intervention in a surrogacy dispute, not FTC, not HHS OCR, not a data breach enforcement action. Zero is still a finding. Do not lose the human layer inside the misfire. A sick newborn, a surrogate and intended parents locked in litigation. Hospitals in Dallas fielding political letters while intensive care continues. That deserves careful reporting in the right channel. Corporate breach chases verified cyber failures and the paper trails that prove them. This file stops at the Q gate. If you run automated news or filings radar, steal this checklist. Require cyber language in the article body, not only the query string. Never trust leading headline nouns as company names. Log and skip junk entities before they burn a production slot. And when research says no breach, stop. Do not force a 12-minute cyber doc out of political analysis. Accuracy beats volume. Figures and dates in this episode come from Slate, Kara, ABC News, the Texas Tribune, and NBC reporting cited in our locked research file. Full links sit in the description. We cite what verified outlets published. We do not invent breach counts to rescue a bad Q-pick. Latest conservative cause, C was never a corporation. It was a grammar accident on a surrogacy story, and a reminder that unattended radar can cue nightmares that are not cyber. Which corporate failure should we open the file on next? This has been Corporate Breach.